To me, the OE is a place that sparked my creativity. It taught me what it means to be human, to live with other humans in community. It taught me what it means to wake up and be intentional. It taught me how to be creative. It has given me lifelong friends and a place to call home.
My name is Adelaide Elliott Joy. I was a part of the OE in the fall of 2020 and then again in the summer of 2021. It taught me what I wanted to do with my life. It showed me a completely different path than I thought I was on.
Just being in Oregon in the mountains helped me realize that there's room to live life bigger, like on a grander scale than I ever imagined. And for wild things to exist.
I was an environmental science major in college and had no idea what I wanted to do with it until I took the forestry unit at the OE and realized I wanted to get into conservation. And now I'm actually back in Oregon working for a conservation corps, and I truly attribute that to my semester at the OE. Every time I go back to visit the OE, it still feels like home, and I'm so appreciative that I got that semester. It truly is such an important place for me.
I would say that the OE is probably one of the most pivotal experiences I've had in my life to date. Just a couple of things to sum that up. I am currently sitting in Oregon. I work in sustainability. And this last weekend I went down and visited the OE. The OE made space for community, reflection, sustainable living. Those things are probably some of the most core values that I walk around with on the day-to-day. I love the OE. I will look forward to continuing to support it and visiting as often as I can.
I think one of the biggest things that my semester there taught me was just how to be confident in my own skin. I feel like, I don't know, somewhere in high school I just lost the confidence to be authentic and to, state my own viewpoints and to own what I know. And I think at the OE, just being around people who valued me as somebody who had something to say was I think the biggest thing for me. And then on top of that, just living in community with others and having these really intellectually and spiritually stimulating conversations just all day, every day. I think that's what I thought college would be, but it hasn't ended up being like that, at my home institution. But at the OE, I think that's certainly a reality, and yeah, I wouldn't trade anything for my time there.
The Oregon Extension, in a way, forever changed my thoughts on what it means to be part of a community and how I can go forth in the world from this place and ask the questions that matter. And just knowing that any current students or future students and alumni are united by this collective memory of our community and our desire to cultivate more intentional spaces like it, I feel lucky to be part of such an amazing group.
The OE changed me fundamentally as a person, noticeably. I was just talking to somebody the other day that said, yeah, who is this new girl? She's so chill. And yeah, it connected me to every single living being on the planet. I still bug people by saying that, we speak for the trees and all, the mycelium is all connected and all this stuff. And it was incredibly challenging and something I really needed at that point in my life. And I'm still so incredibly grateful.
I think that the mission of the OE is more relevant than ever. My generation, because of the pandemic, because of widespread technology, and, there's just not a lot of spaces like the OE. And I think that it shows us something that is really rare. It shows us how to connect with each other.
The 4 months in Lincoln, Oregon totally changed my life. From community and friends that I still remain in touch with on a weekly basis to the values that it showed me, the things that are still ingrained in my life. It's not a period I'll ever forget. And in a lot of ways, I still feel like an OE student because of those values it instilled. I love that place, and I'm forever grateful for it.
Teaching me lessons that I couldn't have learned anywhere else about valuing simplicity, about being deep and authentic in everything you do. And I think they're especially valuable for a young person in today's day and age. In a time when we're surrounded by technology, things you could call inauthenticity, a fast-paced world, learning to live a life that's slow, that's intentional, that's meaningful, that you live in depth is a really unique lesson. And I think it's really valuable for people my age.
I'm so grateful for all the love that we all share for this place that is able to continue sharing it with new students every year, and that we all can be part of the OE family together. I would just love to say thank you to anyone who has graced us with either your time, your money, or just your prayers about the program.
I really just loved the Oregon Extension so much because there was such a vibrant and loving community, which helped me feel very comfortable in my own skin. I also felt very encouraged to explore new passions of mine that I have since brought back to college, and I'm very excited to start studying them.
The OE was absolutely life-changing, and I don't say that lightly. I'm a very shy and introverted individual who has battled social anxiety all of my life, but I did not know it at the time that I was at the OE. But shortly I was placed in Cabin 6, which housed the most loving and accepting girls I have ever known. I finally knew what a home should feel like from them. The community and relationships that I had at the OE has helped me form deeper relationships back home, even with friends I had known for years. I would not be where I would be now with my friendships, my image of myself, and my mental health if it wasn't for the OE.
All I can say is that it was a life-changing experience for me. I met some of the best people I've ever known, people that I know are going to be in my life forever. I was exposed to new ways of thinking and existing and being in the world that have altered my perspective forever.
My time at the OE taught me how to listen openly, work thoughtfully, and live intentionally.
The OE was the most transformational experience that I've had so far. It has changed my life in numerous ways. Some of my fondest memories come from the OE, from making enchiladas for 3 hours with my cabin mates, to just walking alone at night and just taking in that place. It is an incredibly special place and experience for me. I also met my wife there, and we're happily married.
Dude, I mean, you know it. It enriches everything. It's like this container of learning how to learn and learning how to be in community with people and learning reciprocity. Whoa!
Because of the OE specifically, I am a better friend, daughter, sister. I have a better work-life balance, and I definitely have prioritized involvement and leadership in religious communities.
For one, the instruction I received there was incredibly invaluable, both as a student and an individual. So I take the lessons that I learned at the OE with me everywhere. I was renewed with the passion to pursue what I love and also given the confidence to share it.
I learned that meditation helps with my anxiety and that I need to be more intentional with the people in my life and how I want to spend every day and just how I want my life to carry on looking like. It definitely turned around my day-to-day, and I owe it to the OE.
The year I was in Lincoln was by far my favorite year. I learned so much of what it means to be in community with people, and I still feel that presence in my life. I am now living on a farm in Western Washington, and I view the OE as a portal, a really important portal that I went through, and I wouldn't be here without it. I wouldn't have the amazing friends that I've met through the OE, and it's still such an important place that I try to go to as often as I can.
First and foremost is the OE really slows down your pace of life. I think we go too fast nowadays, with the phones and the distractions, and OE creating that community where you don't have to be on your phone and you get to just spend more time reading and thinking. It's really changed the way that I've discussed, approached situations, and who I am as an individual. I ask a lot more reflection questions, and I've deepened my understanding of the world and the world around me. It's really changed the way I see things religiously and really deepened my understanding of the world. I can't be more grateful for the people who are there who make the OE what it is. The people who run the farm, and you get to learn, how to really cook for yourself and how to sustain your life instead of just being an outsider and, buying things from the grocery store. I really fell in love with the professors who really engaged me in conversations, really deepened my understanding of things, and really asked me questions that I needed to have in my life in order to be a better person. I really do love every aspect about the OE, and I don't think there's any other experience like it. I think it's changed every single individual who's ever been there.
The OE changed my life in a number of valuable ways, a number of ways that nothing else could have changed my life. One of them was just teaching me how to interact with human beings on a deep level. Sharing meals together, putting your phone down, talking about deep subjects with each other in an open way, something that you don't do with many other people in your life as a normal person going through this modern world. It taught me that I love carpentry through toolcraft and building a desk, and that led into the job that I'm doing now in historic preservation on the East Coast. It taught me that I love backpacking, which led me to be a wilderness ranger in Colorado last summer. And really all those things are secondary to the fact that it's given me friends that I will have for my life, friends that I still talk to all the time. The other main thing that it did for me is connect me to that land, the place. Every time I go back to Lincoln, I feel like I'm coming home.
Something that has stuck with me as I return is just the dynamic nature of the Oregon Extension, where you're reading really, really cool and really heavy books, talking about those with people that you love and care about, that you've grown with, people that have come to just mean so much to you, so much to me that, I'm making 9.5-hour drives across the country to see people that I met at the Oregon Extension, and also holding that in the same space as like wonder of the creation that you're in, doing week-long backpacking trips, summiting mountains, living with goats. All of those things just work together in this beautiful polyphony of like all of these things coming together and teaching you who you are and who you're supposed to be, who you're creating, who you were created to be.
I'm extremely grateful and in debt to the OE for the experience that I had there. I honestly don't know where my life would be without it, where I would be as a person. I grew so much. I transformed so much as an individual. I learned to ask important questions there. I learned to pursue what is important to me, even if it isn't important to other people.
That place taught me caring friendship, and that I could come to love a community of people that were initially strangers. I think it strengthened my sense of self and my sense of values, so much so. It was so formative. I hope that so many more students get to experience what I experienced there. I cherish it. It lives on in me every day. It's undeniable.
I learned how to really be in the moment and feel how it is to be in relationship. That's not really something I've gotten in any other education before. If you want to become alive, go to the Oregon Extension program.